Hello and welcome once again to the Dr. Zeero Free Magic Secrets Show. Your source for all your supervillain malarkey and also your source for supervillain seduction. See, I was going to stop these supervillain monologues because there's only, so much I want to give you other supervillains out there, all the leeway to figure out your own, stuffs, right? But I thought I'd do just one more. And it's about dating other supervillains. Okay, because, Valentine's Day is a way off and all this, but I wanted you guys to be prepared. See, when you date another supervillain, this is much different than a supervillain team-up, right? And damn, this is when you feel anything at all. Now, look, supervillains are loners by nature, for the most part. And most have severe abandonment issues, among other psychological flaws that made them what they are and whatnot. And most supervillains totally reject any human touch or affection. But still, supervillains like to have hot sex every once in a while, and you can't deny that. And, sex magic is a very important technique in the vast arsenal of magical attacks and situations. But let's just call it, most supervillains just downright can't stand other people. And still, as deranged and isolated as one becomes, you still yearn for some companionship, So here are some helpful tips for your supervillain dating. First off, think long and hard of successful supervillain relationships, right? And when you do, the only one you can ever that ever seemed any good at navigating a relationship anywhere in comic books was Harley Quinn, because she hooked up with Poison Ivy. It's kind of funny. The only working relationship in comics is a lesbian in nature, which is cool because queer power, which is A, and B, they deserve each other. And it's really good that she dumped the Joker anyway, and we all wanted to see that anyway, and that's a good thing, because who the hell would want to date Joker? Just her, I guess. So, the relationship with the Joker there, with Harley, it represents so much of the conundrums in supervillain dating right there, right? You don't just get treated as some kind of distant number two, but you end up relegated as a henchman. And, the same way George Washington never, quartered with his own soldiers in his own army because he had to keep that distance. You don't want to get buddy-buddy with the soldiers there. You have to retain the same distance with your henchmen, right? So sexuality is the same deal here. Never sleep with your henchmen / henchwomen / non-binary goons, or whatever you want to say. And that goes for whatever your sexuality is, whether you're cis heteronormative or something else or whatever, always keep these things in mind. So furthermore, it becomes a default S&M interplay when you get involved with your henchmen, because the henchmen just love abuse, right? You'll get sidetracked. So trust me, making your henchmen play horsey is not as fun as it sounds. You waste all that bullwhip energy on flesh and not the asshat humorless supervillain types you tussle with. So nope. If you go full S&M, do it with another supervillain. So the problem here is that most supervillains are almost always doms. That's the thing. They want to dominate the world. They want to dominate, the superhero that they fight. It's a dom thing most of the time. So a lot of them, their psychology won't allow them to submit to anything. Now Doc here, if Mr. Xiron really likes someone enough, Doc will do anything, right? This is why anyone Doc ever dates, Doc just becomes their living voodoo doll. Doc has a thing for absorbing others' trauma and taking it away and stuff. And there's nothing more romantic than clearing someone's head in this way. So Doc spits blood for his loves. But Doc here is kind of a rarity, but rarely has any supervillain dating scenario worked out for Doc, but it has happened. So Zeero here at least has got some helpful tips. So keep in mind the following, right? Most supervillains have like hair trigger rejection policies. So if you say something really stupid, it's going to be over in 2 seconds. So you got to be really careful. Now, Doc here has had a lot of trouble in this department because Doc's a saucy, spicy, sarcastic motherfucker and has a tendency to say black humor things that don't always fly in the year of 2024. Because it's not the 1990s anymore. I mean, Doc is a hero for supervillain for the 90s. I guess it would be an anti-hero for the 90s. But so it's sort of like, it's like when they de-iced Captain America, stuck in that block of ice, after he fought Red Skull, and then he was just bam in the 60s. It's kind of like what Doc is just frozen out of time. He's an anthropological curiosity harkening back to 1996. So, talking about supervillain dating again. So, ideological battles resulting in devastation. So, it's really important that you guys are really on the same ideological platform. You got the same zealot mission, because otherwise it's going to go awry. Because nothing's going to make you want to hold someone's hand more than taking down the same superhero or same target. You know what I mean? It's very important. So now also, many magical supervillains worship Satan, or they're either theistic Satanists or symbolic Satanists. But it's really annoying when they don't recognize you as Satan. You can get jealous there. No matter how much you prove it, the proof just never stacks up to them. It's just Satan is always going to take their heart before you get it in return. So I guess you just got to ramp it up, and no matter what, you got to show them, you got to make them understand, right? And even if you do so, you got this other problem where a lot of supervillains they're really into Azerate, right? And if you think you were jealous about Satan, you have no idea how jealous you will become and annoyed you will become being ignored in lieu of the shadow of God. You know what I mean? It's a giant red flag when they're all about Azerate. Now, another important supervillain dating tip is comparison of magic techniques. It's very important that all your techniques key up. You're kind of like on the same wavelength and all that. Also, a comparison of aesthetic razzmatazz, like your clothing styles and such. The same, henchman uniforms, complementary masks. It kind of all works together. But as long as it isn't in the annoying way, like when you're wearing matching Nike tracksuits and go to the mall, you don't want that. Now, for the gay supervillains out there. Never underestimate the power of Grindr as a weapon of war. Now, of all those idiot men, those useless, stupid men, sending you endless NSFW pics with just, the elephant trunk right in your face, right off the bat, without a word spoken, grainy and off-putting, just castrate them one at a time. You just block them over and over and over and over. So this is a way that you mess with the city's mind, the entire gay population, and you basically slap them all in the face and manufacture an endless assortment of blue balls all over the city. It's true that you can create henchmen this way, but they kind of expect you to, give them some play in the end. But that's fine. You use them for what they're worth. Make them think they're going to get laid. Make them drive you around, make them buy you shit, make them do all sorts of shit, then kick them out because they're men and they're useless. Women are so much better. Unless you're a male supervillain and, this and that. But being a gay supervillain is really a tough racket, right? So anyway, it's also important that both of you have the same target. the same superhero that you're fighting, you know. So the other thing here that's always difficult for supervillains is that, like, you have to, like, set down your own zealot quest and actually aid your partners for once. Like, you have to, like, step up and be mutual. And it's such a hard thing to just, you know, like, I'm going to help you for once. It's hard to concentrate on that shit, right? So, back to the dating apps. Let's talk about Tinder. If you make a Tinder and you just call your name supervillain, no one's going to touch you. They're not going to do it. So you got to lie. You can't post pictures of you with your supervillain mask on or whatever. But Tinder is a great way to, like, lure people in and create more henchmen and they're supervillains sometimes, right? So this next one, carving, creating, and painting each other's masks, like or presenting a mask to your supervillain love on Valentine's Day when you go out to get Mexican food or Chinese food or whatever. You're like, here's this thing. So you want to also cater to their allergies on a romantic dinner, right? No shellfish. That'll kill them sometimes. Very important. So another helpful tip is that if you really want to bowl over your supervillain date, bring them dead, withered flowers. That always works, right? And also, you know, give them a whoopee cushion. Every supervillain loves a whoopee cushion because who doesn't, right? So there's also, you know, it's pretty romantic when you spring them from jail, or you spring them out of Arkham. You know, got to get them out of there to go run amok and have some fun, and that's how we trip up everyone else. You know what I mean? So also, you know, it's sometimes it's helpful when supervillains are on the same mutual psych meds, because it's a healthy relationship when you're, you know, on that plane together, kind of helping each other out and reminding each other to take stuff at the same time, right? So another important thing is has to do with psychedelic unison, right? That's the ultimate test. If they can eat a bunch of fungus and then they can be on that same level with you, and all the walls are breathing and all the grass is moving and all that stuff, if they can hang, they can last, right? That's an important thing right there. Another thing to ask is how do they feel about homeless people? Because it's just bad taste if you have mean things to say about homeless people. You know, a true supervillain, you know, is down to help the homeless, because a true supervillain has probably been homeless many times because they're so busy concentrating on their supervillain master plan that they can't reasonably work or hold an apartment or whatever. They're just so consumed by their plot and master plan that everything else just gets in the way and things fall apart. So also be wary of their opinion of the holy guardian angel in terms of a cult and what that means, right? It's also important to understand their attitude towards the Golden Dawn. And you also have to ask, do they distrust druids? And, you know, could they hang with that? Are they down with druid rituals for the pagan community at large? Or do they just want to step up and hijack it or whatever what's going on? And lastly, you got to ask, is this supervillain you're interested in, are they a Hellcat into Lilith? Because this is going to tell you everything about a person, right? And there's all kinds of things to say about that. But Doc here, again, it's like someone into Azerate or into Satan. When they're into Lilith, it's just Lilith is going to take precedence over you and your relationship all the time. It doesn't matter. So again, choose wisely and understand what you're getting into. Some people can hang with that. Some people want that. You know, Doc is a fellow who has got their sights on different things other than gods and goddesses and different deities and demons and angels and all this shit. You know, Doc isn't so concerned with that. But it's not like other people aren't. So, you know, just to be wary. If that's not your cup of tea, whatever. But there's room for compromise. That's the important part. So, So ask yourself, what do you really seek in a relationship? Do you want a henchman to push around, or do you want to date an equal? So, equal mean you are not necessarily the dominant one in a relationship. It just means equality of, I don't even know what I wrote. It's just how it all fits together. So yeah, these are all just the tips for you guys out there, And I hope you all are bolstered to jump on Tinder, jump on Grindr, whatever floats your boat or sinks your ship, whatever. So again, stay tuned for more supervillain tips. Again, this is probably the last supervillain monologue video in a while. I know I said that the last video was the last one for a while, but I did want to get the dating tips out there. It's very important. So in the future, we're going to have many more episodes just about magic techniques that you can use for all your supervillain antics and for all kinds of occasions and whatnot. And I think we're going to be talking about the tarot a lot once again, because on a magic show, you can never go wrong talking about the tarot. It always works flawlessly. So anyway, that much said, do enjoy your evening. Do return to this channel when you get a chance. And as always, hail Arkham, and here's your hot rockin' outro. Later, kids.
German's even worse, but I can drive the spaceship across the universe. And if there's any life on Mars, I haven't got the clue. The only thing I know for sure is I'm in love with you. Surfing through the galaxy with stardust in your hair. We lost the Earth forever, and the moon is no more there. Gliding through the universe, red orbits in your eyes. We lost the Earth forever, but our love is on the rise. Getting old, but you are always on my mind. My heart just won't grow cold. We left 1,000,000 miles behind. The water has all gone. We didn't reach the planet yet to land our spaceship on. Surfing through the galaxy with stardust in your hair. We lost the Earth forever, and the moon is no more there.